What's up, YouTube? Capital G here. We're doing a redo or redux of the Performage deck that got first at a Japanese event that was 192 players. I made some obvious errors in the first attempt at the video, and I mean, I couldn't, like, my conscience and my integrity just wouldn't let that ride. I was like, oh my goodness, I made too many mistakes. Okay, so I've read some of the comments. It has clarified a lot. So for starters, Performages come out in Clash of Rebellion, so we're not going to be seeing them for, well, Crossos is sneak peeked right now. We're not going to be seeing these guys for at least another 3 months. It'll be after Nationals, so this isn't something we're going to be able to see at Nationals in the TCG, although we do have, like, I mean, I guess half of these cards are in the TCG, and then like the other half aren't. Not just the Performages, but then obviously counterattacking C. So some people say that this deck is Performage. It's not obviously a pure Performage deck, but some people say that it's more or less like rank 4 spam, you know, get to Cyber Infinity. And I can kind of see that because Cyber Infinity is just an obvious game changer. Like, you rarely ever see anybody lose when they summon Cyber Infinity in the OCG. Like, the card is just damn good. Like, even when I've seen TCG play against OCG, like if the OCG player gets out Cyber Infinity, it's pretty much a wrap. Unless you have like breakthrough skill. I guess that would be like one of the most consistent outs. So anyways, this deck is obviously meant to spam rank 4s, not just because rank 4 pool is like really good over there, like they have cards like Utopia the Lightning, but because rank 4 technically means rank 5 in the OCG, because you can go into, you know, your Planet Tellarknight, and then he can just like go into other things. Like, you can, I mean, he didn't run all the other rank 5s that he could go into, but you can go into things like Pallades and Volcasaurus and all types of crazy crap. So rank 4 technically means rank 5 as well. So, you know, when you have those type of options, who even needs to just play rank 4 monsters? All right, so let's look at the deck list. This time we will get it right. 3 Photon Thrasher, 3 Performage Trick Clown, 3 copies of Dama Juggler, and then he has the last Performage, which is Hat Tricker. He's got 3 counterattacking C and 2 max C. Double Kage and 2 copies of Heroic Challenger Thousand Blades. So, all right, the first, and actually, you know what, let me end with the Nefarious Archfiend of Nefariousness. All right, so there were a couple of cards that I didn't quite understand, but I've got some clarification now. Nefarious Archfiendness, or Nefarious Archfiend Eater of Nefariousness. I will never get used to saying that name. So you can special summon this anytime that you control any of the Performages. They're all spellcasters. So basically, this guy is kind of like a Bora, but really just in this deck. Like, if you have any of these, obviously cards like Photon Thrasher and Kage, I mean, those are just cards that are going to help you easily get to rank 4s. Anytime you summon anything in this deck, you can pretty much just Kage, I guess, other than Photon Thrasher. And then Photon Thrasher serves kind of the same purpose, just easy ways to get to Xyz. What I didn't realize about this guy right here, the Heroic Challenger, is like anytime you take damage, you can just special summon him. I think it's only once per turn, but the card is definitely legit. And you can combine it with this card right here. You can combine it with Trick Clown, where if you activate the effect, you can summon a Performage from the graveyard. Its attack is 0 and the defense is 0, but like that's really not gonna matter if you're gonna exceed. But you take 1,000 damage, which obviously could trigger Thousand Blades effect. Now, he does have a bunch of anti-meta hate cards. Some people, I think that we've gotten to the point where, like, if you run Floodgate cards, people just discount. Like, they want to discredit your deck just because you run Floodgates. Like, just because he ran 3 copies of Mistake doesn't mean, like, he always saw the 3 copies. It doesn't mean that the rest of his deck didn't put in work. Again, I think that counterattacking C, it has some valid uses against Shadows and against Necros, because, as I've said before, if you play this at the right time against Necros, you will get their spell banished. Like, I mean, if you get rid of, especially since Necros cycle is limited in Japan, if you get rid of the Necros cycle, like, you don't have to worry about it ever again. And if your opponent has like a Trishula trapped in the graveyard, outside of unicorning it out, or I guess maybe they can Digustal it, the point is it's kind of difficult for them to get it out or for them to summon it against you. So counterattacking C is good against Necros, especially stopping the Kaleidoscope play. It's good against Shadows. I don't know how many Shadows he saw because, you know, Construct is banned and shit there. Maxi is I mean, pretty much anytime you see counterattacking C, you need to run at least one max C because it's searchable and you're going to get it for free anyway. He had Feather Duster, Reinforcements of the Army, Dark Hole, and he did not play Regeki, banned in the OCG. That was my fault. He played Foolish Burial. Mainly, I would assume he wanted to dump the Trick Clown. And Rhoda is limited in the OCG. It is crazy how different our ban list is. Like, Dark Hole is limited there. They don't have Regeki. Rhoda is limited there. And it's like, dude, Dark Hole is probably going to be at 3 next format in the TCG. Trap lineup, obviously something that we could never replicate or duplicate in the TCG. I mean, 3 Torrential and 3 Compulse. This right here is just, I mean, I guess that makes up for their spell pool being so limited. Is their trap pool in the OCG is crazy. I mean, monsters just, I mean, if you overextend in the OCG, you're just going to get wrecked. I guess that's why some people were playing Starlight Road at some point, because they have 3 Torrential. They have ways of clearing boards very easily. They have 3 evac device, which I would imagine this is like the best way to combine with breakthrough skill. If your opponent has like an infinity, you banish the breakthrough skill from the graveyard. There's not much they can really do, and then you just evac the infinity, try and get it out the way that way. He has 3 copies of Mistake, and here's what I thought, right? I was like, all right, if he happens to have Mistake against a deck that's not good, like Mistake isn't good against, then he could technically, let me just make sure. I'm pretty sure that you can, nope, it's, nope, sorry, it only works with monsters. I was thinking for a second, I was like, wait a minute, couldn't you blow this up with Archfiend? But no, it's only with monsters. So, I mean, Mistake is a good card in general. I guess if it's like a semi-brick card against a deck that wouldn't be affected by it, he just has to kind of, you know, like deal with it somehow, and I guess unside those out. Double breakthrough skill, double Fiendish Chain. Again, breakthrough skill I would assume is more important than the OCG because of this card right here. Cyber Dragon Infinity is, it's a game changer. Some people are saying that this deck won because of Cyber Dragon Infinity. I kind of get that, but it's not. I mean, I seriously doubt that he had no games where this card didn't die. I mean, I'm pretty sure that it died at some point. Like, it died during some of his games. And then for the extra deck, he has Cyber and Dragon. He has a Nova. I mean, then he has the Infinity. Obviously, just Cyber Dragon boys. The reason he ran Cyber and Dragon, as you guys said, is because if he summons Nova and Nova dies, then he can get Cyber and Dragon for free, which isn't that just silly? The fact that you kill the Nova Dragon and then your opponent just drops like a 4,000 beater on you, and if you get one attack through like directly with Cyber and Dragon, you're probably going to win the game. He's got 2 of the Planeteers. This card is it's probably gonna make people start playing like random rank 5s. I don't think that Konami ever should have made this card generic. I think it should have just been for Tellarknights, and you're seeing the impact of the card, not just making it very easy to get to Infinity and Nova and stuff like that, but then you can like splash Pallades into like so many decks, you know what I mean? It doesn't even matter if you just get to use Pallades once. Pallades can not only bounce your opponent's monsters, but you bounce your own Phoenix Chains, Called Haunted, all that good stuff. He has things like Constellar Omega. All the Performages are light, so that's an easy way to make it. You know, it still is a pretty decent card if you're playing in a format with 3 evacs and, you know, like triple Torrential and stuff like that. He has Utopia and Utopia the Lightning. I am going to play this card when it comes to the TCG. The card is real. You just summon Utopia and then you overlay this on top of it. You can detach 2 materials. You basically get a Star Eater effect. You attack, your opponent can't activate anything in response to the attack, and then just even crazier, you detach 2 materials and the dude's attack goes to 5,000. It's ridiculous. Lavalval Chain serving probably the same purpose as like Foolish Burial. Not only to get this in the graveyard, the Trick Clown, but probably to get the Thousand Blades too. Thousand Blades it's a really good card. It's kind of, I'm kind of surprised that nobody has ever really even experimented with this card. And then pretty much like your standard cards, the Castel, the Exiton Knights, the Karagurgan, and then the Gagaga Samurai. He didn't run Cowboy in this deck. It may have been because of just extra deck tightness. I mean, in the OCG, they have to dedicate kind of like 5 cards just to the Cyber Engine, so that's 1/3 of your deck, and you know, maybe you're not, maybe Karagurgan or something like that, but I mean, I guess they felt like, or I guess he felt like the 800 damage really wasn't that relevant. So this is an interesting deck. I mean, rank 4 spam clearly is night and day difference in the OCG than what it is in the TCG because of major players like this and major players like this that can, like, you know, win games by themselves. But it's interesting to see a deck come right out of the gates. This stuff came out of Clash of Rebellion, like all of this, all Clash of Rebellion, and instantly have an impact on a damn near 200 person event, an event that was probably that translates into an 8-round Swiss regional over here in the TCG. So let me know what you guys think. I think the deck is legit, and I don't know. I mean, depending on how Konami approaches Necros in the OCG, if they want to hit them more or just leave the deck alone, this deck might not even technically need Mistake. I mean, it doesn't search at all except the one copy of Rhoda, but we will be able to play this deck very soon, and it's going to be kind of cool to see how it works because there's so many random level 4s, but they all kind of work together. And in TCG, it might even operate better because we have 3 copies of Rhoda, and he can only play 1 copy. So thank you guys for watching. As always, try to have patience, guys. I know I botched the first video, but the second video was probably significantly less errors. If there were any more errors, leave that in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, as always.